2025 was the year I voluntarily turned gaming into unpaid labour. I earned a grand total of 11 platinums and lost several years of my life expectancy. And what a year it's been. We've had highs.
Take that, Baron.
We've had lows. Honestly, mostly lows.
No!
When I started this channel, I had the original idea of not doing a tier list. But then I remembered this is YouTube, so here we are. So where better to start than where the channel began, Astro's Playroom. Look, this game knows exactly what it is. It's free, it's pre-installed, and it exists purely to show off your PS5 controller while you wait for an actual game to download. I genuinely believe that you could platinum this game while half asleep, and because this is a trophy-based channel, that lands it firmly in D tier. Not a bad game, just the gaming equivalent of a tutorial that you never asked for. Next up was Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. I felt that this was a solid place to pick up my gaming journey, and a great first franchise to upload to the channel. You follow Lara Croft on her journey across the lost island of Yamatai, exploring lost cities, stopping rituals, and making lifelong friendships, which I immediately ignored while hunting all 171 collectibles. This is a solid game. Unfortunately, it did come with some pretty annoying multiplayer trophies, and as you may have seen in my video, I missed the Chatterbox trophy, meaning that I had to replay the entire game again, purely because I didn't stand still and listen to enough NPCs talk. Overall, I put the game in C tier. Rise of the Tomb Raider is the sequel to the first game and the game that I decided to tackle next on my platinum journey. This was also the game that introduced DLC to the Tomb Raider franchise. Unfortunately, the DLC trophy list was a mixture of grindy and multiplayer. Rise introduced score attack mode, and to 100% complete this game, you needed gold medals on the 27 score attack levels, which is less fun challenge and more why am I doing this to myself at 1 AM. The story was solid, although by the end it felt like I've been watching all 9 series of The Office in one sitting. Matched up against its predecessor, can I say that it's a better game? Graphically, probably. Enjoyment wise, no. So it's going in C tier, but just behind the first game. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, however, now that's a completely different story. Square Enix finally realised that not every trophy needs to feel like a personal attack, so this time, for score attack, you only needed bronze or higher. The story was definitely encapsulating, and I would say that it's probably the best Tomb Raider game that I've played. All in all, I would put Shadow in B tier. Moving on to one of my most recent videos, The Witcher 3 is widely regarded as one of the best games of all time, and it would be rude of me not to agree. Although I love Gwent, and clearly the game loves Gwent more than the main story, collecting all 120 cards was a bit of a grind, and some of the combat-based trophies were just plain annoying. Playing the entire game on Death March definitely added challenge, and also several moments where I questioned my life choices.
What? I'm blocking you, fat dick. No! Fuck!
Overall, a solid A tier game. The PS5 remake for LEGO Star Wars 2 and the PS3 LEGO Batman 2 are both games that I felt didn't need recording. This is because LEGO Batman is getting a new game in 2026, and LEGO Star Wars already has the Skywalker Saga, which has the 6 episodes covered in LEGO Star Wars 2, as well as the newer episodes. With LEGO games, they're hard to rank for me. Both are fun, nostalgic, harmless platinums, but let's be honest, they're just comfort food. At the end of the day though, you have to be fair, so I would slap both of these games in C tier, above Rise of the Tomb Raider, but just below the OG Tomb Raider. Now onto 2 games that definitely reduced my life expectancy this year. Starting with the 2023 Dead Space remake, the main trophy here is Untouchable, which is earned for completing the game on its hardest difficulty. This was hard as hell. It's an 8-hour game, 1 save slot, and everything on the Ishimura exists purely to end your run. Similar to Dead Space, one of the DLC trophies for the Callisto Protocol sees you completing the game on its hardest difficulty, but it's a little bit different. In the Callisto Protocol, you get 0 saves, which means 1 mistake, 6 hours gone.
Fuck me, I can't believe that just happened.
Despite all of that, I love them, which probably says more about me than the games, so they're both going in A tier, with Callisto just edging it because of Josh Duhamel. Throwing it back to July, I 100% completed Battlefield 4. Now as you know, I hate multiplayer trophies, and Battlefield 4 has a whole bunch. You know it's bad when even looking at the trophy list makes you tired. Once you get past the 30 odd hours you have to spend just playing the DLC maps, and some of the ridiculous combat-based trophies, it is a great game. It's easy to see how 12 years later, the game continues to have players, apart from that one mode. The story is a pretty short one, but it's definitely memorable and one of my all-time favourite first-person shooters. But in comparison to the other games I've played this year, it's got to go in B tier. Now the moment that many of you have been waiting for. 2020's Ghost of Tsushima and 2025's Ghost of Yotei. Tsushima is a brilliant game with incredible graphics and one of the most enthralling story modes of any game I've played. But with Yotei, you can just tell that Sucker Punch Games really put the time and effort in that it deserved and created the best game that I've played this year. These are the two games that reminded me why I put up with everything else on this list. Both get S tier, with Yotei just edging out in front. So that's my 2025 review. A year of great games, questionable decisions, and entirely self-inflicted suffering. Let me know in the comments what your favourite game was this year, or your worst platinum, so I don't feel alone. And if you missed any of my videos this year, check them out. I promise that at least some of the suffering was worth it.